How to lose love handles in 1 week, 5 simple steps. Hi, Dr. Mike Diamonds, that's me, in 2019, 2020, and 2021, losing all of my love handles. To start, it is important that we define love handles. The definition, according to Merriam-Webster, it's fatty bulges along the side of the body at the waist. To put it simply, love handles are simply an excess body fat, also known as adipose tissue. It serves a variety of functions, for example, a storage site for excess energy for later use, and as an endocrine organ producing hormones such as leptin and estrogen. For a long time, it felt impossible to get rid of those love handles, and I'm sure you clicked on this video because you share the same sentiment. Here is my client Avalon's, and when we first spoke, he felt the exact same way. When we applied the principles I'm going to lay out in this video, he lost all of it in 16 weeks. If you're looking to make a similar transformation, you can apply in the description below. But before we dive in, I put my heart and soul into the research and editing of this video, so anyone looking for this information can find the accurate solution. Do me one small favor, gently tap the like button and subscribe if you're new. This way, you'll never get those love handles again once you lose them. Let's kick it off. What causes love handles? Some people believe that they have a genetic predisposition to storing fat on their lower back, and this is sometimes true. The only way to gain fat in any area of your body is eating more calories than you burn, also known as a caloric surplus. But why is it so hard to lose? Lower back fat is hard to lose because of the fat cells in the area are more reluctant to disgorge their contents than the fat cells in other areas. While some fat cells release their stored energy readily, a process referred to as fat mobilization, others are more stingy or stubborn, such as the ones in your lower back. That being said, you can't lose all of your love handles in 1 week. It's impossible to go from 30% to 10% body fat in 1 week or lose a tremendous amount of fat unless there's surgical intervention. Fat loss is also not size specific. You lose fat holistically over time. This was my transformation in 2021. There's 30 plus pounds between the two photos and almost 7 months. After doing some research of what is out there on this topic, the feed is dominated with workouts, which we know isn't the solution. What this video will do, and if you watch it till the end, is show you how to lose those love handles for good with complete transparency. So, step 1, a caloric deficit and intermittent fasting. Every day, our body stores fat when you eat and burns fat when it runs out of food energy. Visually, it looks something like this. The green area represents lipogenesis, the metabolic formation of fat occurring in response to a meal. The blue area represents lipolysis, the breakdown of fats occurring in response to fasting between meals and during sleep. Over a 24-hour period, these will be balanced, assuming you're not consuming more calories than you expend. Or the blue portions will be larger, burning fat if you're in a caloric deficit. To lose fat, you need to be in a caloric deficit consistently over time. Let me show you how to figure out your calories and your macros. The realistic way to track your calories and more so your macros is through an app called MyFitnessPal. Any other way is a shot in the dark, and it tends to be overcomplicated. It's super simple. So I'm going to show you how I use MyFitnessPal to build a diet and also to build the correct macros to be able to lose fat and build muscle. Our main goal is to lose weight. I highly recommend you choose 1 pound per week. It's very tempting to want to choose 2 pounds per week because you want to get to your goal quicker. In my own experience, individuals tend to have a lot of repercussion with having such an aggressive caloric deficit. I highly recommend 1 pound per week. Awesome, and based on the data, it's giving me 2,280 calories, and that's gonna put me in a caloric deficit at 2,280 calories. Now, we've figured out our calories. Now we want to figure out what our perfect macros are. And I'll go through my thought process in terms of setting up the best macros, and you can do the exact same. So my general rule is I like to eat more than 1 gram per pound of body weight. So if I'm 175 pounds, I want to eat between 175 and slightly above that to be able to maintain or even build muscle mass. 200, that's 35%. I'm okay with that. And typically when I choose fat, which is the next parameter, I like to choose between 20 and 25% of my total calories. So I'm going to bring that down to 20, and that gives me 51 grams of fat. I'm happy with that. And as you can see, we just need to balance things out, and we're going to reduce carbohydrates from 50 to 45%, and we're going to click check, and that is perfect. You will see that your goal is to be able to get to as close as possible 200 grams of protein, get as close as possible to 257 carbs and 51 grams of fat. In my experience, the individuals who hit these numbers the closest are the ones who tend to see more detail in their body. So we don't want perfection, we just want progress. It's super easy. This is what I do. This is what a lot of individuals have done in terms of being able to make this transformation. I highly recommend trying MyFitnessPal out. Any other questions you have about it, leave it in the comment section down below and I'll gladly answer. Fundamentally, this is the most important step. Once you're in a deficit, the amount of fat you lose totally depends on how long you spend in the deficit, your consistency and diligence. In my experience and with my clients, your love handles go last, so it can take 16 weeks or more. Why most people never lose them is because they give up too early. If you want me to show you the diet I ate, let me know in the comments down below. Just comment, Mike, show me the diet. Personally, I love using intermittent fasting as an eating pattern that cycles between periods of fasting and eating. A popular method is the 16-8 method, which means you fast for 16 hours and eat in an 8-hour window period. So, if you're basically skipping breakfast and having a late lunch at 2 p.m., your last meal will be at 10 p.m. in the evening. Why this strategy works so well for me and my clients is because we usually aren't hungry in the morning and get away with a black coffee. When we do break our fast, we have a lot of calories to eat in a smaller window. Honestly, this does help manage hunger when you get into week 16 and onwards in the diet. Limiting your eating window consequently limits the amount of calories you're eating. Step 2. Resistance training. Now, crunches and twists are fantastic workouts to develop the abs, but they won't be the ones that get rid of the love handles. Resistance training is the driving force to body recomposition. It's easy to lose fat using the diet alone, but impossible to build muscle without some sort of weight training. It is paramount with muscle building and improving your composition. The goal isn't to lose weight, it's to lose as much fat as possible and retaining or building as much muscle at the same time. If you build more muscle, you allow your physique to reveal itself even at higher body fat percentages. With Avalons, we focused on developing a core, shoulders, and chest for a complete physique. That being said, we want to build a best training plan that fits the following parameters. We want to take into consideration your experience in training, how often you want to train, and maximizing your muscle gain. If you're a beginner, training 3 to 4 times in a week is ideal, and doing full body splits would maximize your gains, allowing you to adequately stimulate your muscles for growth and enough time to recover from your workouts. If you fall in between being an intermediate to an experienced trainee, you may be better suited for a 5-day split, such as a full body or upper-lower push-pull legs, or if you're doing 6 days, a push-pull legs and repeat split is perfect. In my experience, focusing on your compound exercises, the bench, deadlift, squat, overhead press, gives you the biggest bang for your buck. Because this video is related to love handles, these are my top 3 ab exercises. So for the upper abs, the ab crunch, focusing on getting a deep contraction, which is as much flexion in the spine as possible. To allow maximum flexion, exhale as you crunch and imagine curling your head into your knees. You can overload the abs by holding a weight to your chest performing this exercise, but my personal favorite is cable crunches. Lower abs, done properly, hanging leg raises are the king of all ab exercises. You can use other variations of this exercise to make it easier or more difficult. Finally, obliques. The oblique abdominals work harder in twisting actions. My all-time favorite oblique exercise, as I believe completes the aesthetic look, includes the one that provides lateral flexion and trunk rotation, which for me is the cable wood choppers. The home version of this workout would be a Russian twist. If you're a beginner, do these exercises every 3 days. And if you're more experienced and would like to develop your 6-pack abs faster, then do these every 2 days. No excuses, you can do them at the gym, which I highly recommend, or even at home. Long term, as you keep on building and adding muscle tissue to your abs, you'll be able to have them pop at higher body fat percentages. Step 3. Cardio. It's a great tool for fat loss. Without getting too deep into HIIT versus LISS, the main goal is to burn more calories. My best advice is simply start walking every day. A study by the medical branch of the University of Texas showed that peripheral lipolysis was stimulated maximally at the lowest exercise intensity, which is walking, and fatty acid release into the plasma decreased with increasing exercise intensity. You see, you burn both fat and carbs when you exercise, and the proportions vary with the intensity. As the intensity increases, so does the reliance upon muscle glycogen for energy over fat stores. This is why a very low intensity activity like walking taps mainly into fat stores for energy, whereas high intensity exercises pulls much more heavily from carbohydrates, your glycogen stores. As you walk more and follow the first 2 steps, every week you'll see the layers of that fat peel off. And as you get deeper into the deficit and start walking more, you'll see more of your lower abs and your love handles being revealed. I should stress, be patient with this approach. Take a stepwise one. Don't try and eat very little calories, and don't start immediately with 20,000 steps. Start walking maybe at 8,000 steps a day. The physical and mental benefits are life-changing. The following week or 2 weeks, increase your steps, and over time, work your way to 13,000 steps, for example, and increasing your steps by 1,000 steps increments. I've personally gotten to as much as 20,000 steps per day for competition prep. As you keep seeing progress with your loss of your love handles, you can control the rate of your fat loss with either decreasing your calories or increasing your expenditure. Step 4. From all the studies I've read, getting less sleep makes your fat loss journey so much harder. I would put this at step 1 to emphasize how important this is. In my own experience, if we truly want to achieve pure fat loss, we simply have to pay more attention to how much sleep we're getting. At this stage, we have heard the integral pieces of the puzzle of building muscle and losing fat, the diet, training, and cardio. But one integral part of the puzzle, and possibly the biggest, it's unfortunately 2 painful, underrated variables: sleep and stress. How much sleep do we need to build muscle and lose fat? The National Sleep Foundation recommends 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night for young adults and adults seeking general health and well-being. Personally, I recommend anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sleep to adequately provide enough rest for your body to recover and for your brain to properly function. To be clear, you can still achieve results with less sleep, but if we're in the game of optimization, we want to get 8 hours. And even if you're sleeping 6, try your level best to improve that, maybe get it to 6.5 hours, then to 7, and keep on building from there. Step 5, supplementation. Although this plays a minor role in body recomposition, and without bias for a beginner, I'll mention the most trial and tested supplements from examine.com. Whey protein. It's a high quality, well-absorbed source of protein that's very useful for hitting your targeted daily protein goals. Its benefits extend to the benefits of increased protein intake in general, such as augmenting muscle gain in conjunction with resistance training, limiting muscle loss during low-calorie diets, and modestly limiting fat gain during periods of excessive caloric intake. My personal favorites are the peanut butter flavors from Oxywhey and Isopep from AHP Labs. 2. Creatine. The primary benefit of creatine is an improvement in strength and power output during resistance exercise. For this purpose, creatine is well researched and the effects are quite notable for a supplement. When used in conjunction with resistance exercise, creatine may modestly increase lean mass. Finally, a pre-workout. They're extremely popular and are well researched. They can contain a combination of ingredients that increases training volume, muscular endurance, improves blood flow to the muscles, and even enhances focus. For my personal favorite, it's Pride from HP Labs. If you choose to purchase these supplements from HP Labs, they now have the biggest sale of the year. Using the code DIAMONDS10 will save you some money, and I've left a link in the description to this massive sale. Again, the supplements play a minor role. Can you go without it? Absolutely. I hope the video was helpful. So, as I always do in each and every single video, I'm doing a giveaway. All you need to comment down below is any question you have with regards to a stubborn part in your body that you're trying to lose. And I'm gonna pick a winner for an HP Labs gift card, and especially now because they have their sale. So all you have to do is drop that comment down below, like the video, and be subscribed. Now, also, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments down below. I'll do my very best to help you, but I'll leave the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, again, in the comments, but I'll stop ranting. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.